Good evening and welcome to the Public Safety Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 22nd, 2018. Please let the record reflect that Councilor Mark LaPlante is present, Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez, Councilor Pavel Payano, and Councilor Maria de la Cruz are all present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilors, as you know, this is the first meeting for the Public Safety Committee for the term of 2018-2019. As a result, I am here to open the floor for nominations for the chairman or chairwoman of the Public Safety Committee. Is there a nomination on the floor?
I'd like to nominate Councilor Payano to be the chair.
There's a nomination on the floor. Is there a second? Motion fails due to the lack of a second. Is there another nomination?
Second.
Nomination.
Okay, so there's a nomination on the floor for Councilor Pavel Payano. It's been second by Councilor de la Cruz. Any further nominations? Discussion? Councilor LaPlante?
I have no problem with Councilor Payano becoming the chair of this committee. I will just ask, in order to secure my vote in favor of the chairmanship, that he has meetings once a month. I already have an idea of what I'd like to see accomplished during the next year for the Public Safety Committee. My idea for this committee is to do essentially a topic a month for no more than 1 hour, have the police department come here. The ideas that I have are the following: 1 month homicides update and discussion, another residential breaks, trends, and preventative measures, third, commercial breaks, fourth, street robberies and preventive measures, fifth, text-a-tip, providing information to the police and social media, next, community policing, working with the community, next, telephone scams and fraud, then nightclubs update, missing persons update, motor vehicle theft, and last, I'd like to see parking and noise issues as well being brought before this committee. I like for it to be very targeted at each one of these meetings. If we don't have a quorum on the night of this meeting, and I'm here, and we only have 2 other members here, I'm going to still ask that we go live on camera and have a chance to be able to have a discussion. It will not be a public safety committee. It'll just be a conversation. But I'd like to get a commitment from the chairman, if we're going to do this, that we do this once a month at a time that we can all work together, perhaps the last Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the council place is free.
Thank you, Mr. President. So what I say to that is definitely there'd be a commitment that we meet once a month. I think I would love to talk to you about sort of like your thoughts on how these meetings should be run, or what we should focus throughout the meetings. That's definitely, I think, would be up for discussion. What I want to make sure is that we create some transparency, then we support our departments and our folks that are dealing with public safety, that there's a good strategy around how we're going to lower crime and how we're going to make our community a safer place. I think there's definitely a commitment between the folks that are here. I've heard all 3 of you say that you're committed to sort of be in this committee and move our city forward when it comes to that. So I would hope that everyone's okay with us at least meeting once a month. What I discussed a few weeks ago, I was talking to our president, is that, perhaps, depending on how this goes, towards the end of the year, we might think that we might want to meet more regularly. But it completely depends, I think, on how we run this committee and how sort of the progress that we end up making.
My last point, Mr. President, is the following, and I appreciate Mr. Payano wanting to take a leadership role in this committee, is the following. We need to know what we can and cannot accomplish through this committee. Just because there's a public safety committee doesn't mean the public safety numbers are going to improve or there's going to be less crime, etc. This is essentially an educational forum, an opportunity for us to know more about what's going on. And I think there needs to be realistic expectations of what can be accomplished. The police on the street are what's going to make the difference. Certainly we can be an assistance to that as far as education is concerned, but I just don't want to think because there's a public safety committee that means you're going to see a 2% drop in crime next year because we're meeting once a month. That's not a realistic expectation.
Council President.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Sure. I just want to, just to adapt on this discussion, I would like to go further and see if it is a possibility for us to make this committee a standard committee. We tried to do it last year, and it, for some reason, didn't go through. But I would love to see this committee more functional and have the same status as the other committee and the city council, and have this committee as one of the standard committee that allow us to meet up twice a month and discuss what is important for the safety, and only the safety, which doesn't necessarily means only crime. It's a lot more than that, and we are, I truly believe that we are committed to work for the benefit of the community and improve safety somehow, helping out the departments that are going to be in the front line, which are the police department and many other departments that collaborate and help out the community as well as the quality of life of the city of Florence.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
Councilor De La Cruz.
We're talking about safety committee, and I think that the neighborhood association are playing a role in trying to participate in as many safety nets that we need for the community. Then I think when you're planning for this committee, that you think about the neighborhood associations that are playing a role in the community, and they are more active than what we think. Then I think we have about 6 neighborhood associations that are functioning now. We would like to have a say in those meetings.
Any further nominations? Seeing there's none, all those in favor of Councilor Payano, please say his name out loud. Councilor Rodriguez.
Councilor Payano.
Councilor Payano.
Councilor Payano.
Councilor LaPlante.
Councilor Payano?
Councilor De La Cruz.
Councilor Payano.
Councilor Payano becomes the chair.
Thank you very much. I might need some support in this first one as far as next steps.
Now you're going to nominate the vice president.
Okay. Is there a nomination for Vice Chair of the Public Safety Committee?
I would like to nominate Councilor LaPlante to be the vice chair of this committee.
Councilor Plant was nominated by Councilor Rodriguez. Is there a second?
I second. Second.
It was second by Councilor De La Cruz. Councilor LaPlante, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Okay. So all those in favor, is there a need for discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying the councilor's name. Councilor Rodriguez,
Councilor LaPlante.
Councilor LaPlante,
LaPlante?
Councilor De La Cruz,
Councilor LaPlante.
and myself, Councilor LaPlante. So congratulations, Councilor.
Thank you.
Next up, we move to, okay, so everything is tabled. So everything on the agenda at the moment is tabled. Is there any item on the agenda that that anyone would like to move and place it?
Yes, I would like to take item 13317 out of the table matters.
Is that second by anyone?
Second for discussion.
Okay. So item was seconded. Does discussion come first, or?
Sure, discussion.
Okay. So there's discussion, Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
You took it off the table, so
I would like to send correspondence to the new chief of police, Basket, to come in front of this committee for the next meeting and to discuss about and give us an update report of the Lawrence Trust Act, section 9.20.060, and if that's possible. I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, so what we're voting on tonight, so he was discussing why he wants to move this forward into the agenda. Let's put, is there any other need for discussion? Okay, so we're moving on to the vote. So all those in favor of removing item 133-17, Lawrence Police Department, Lawrence Trust Act report by the Intern Chief of Police, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so now that's on,
Table item 13317.
Second.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what?
I would like to table item 13317.
Okay, Counselor Rodriguez would like to table item 133-17. It's been seconded by Counselor LaPlante. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Yes. Well, essentially, I would like to, basically, most of the items that we have here, have the police department give us an update. Do you want, I would like somehow take one by one, I guess. Item 5917, I would like to take and do the same thing, get our table matters and discuss it.
Okay, so Counselor Rodriguez is moving for removing item 5917 from table. Is a second?
It's a matter of getting the item out of the table matters.
I second that motion to take it off the table.
Okay, so is there any need for discussion?
Discussion.
Okay.
I would like to send correspondence to the chief of police to provide us with a report on this item, security camera petition, and to see if we're making any updates on this item.
Okay, sounds good.
And I would like to make that as a form of a motion.
I'd like to ask you a question, Counselor.
Oh, we haven't, I guess we haven't voted on taking it off the table matter.
Okay.
We gotta take it off the
So,
table
any other need for discussion?
Discussion.
Yes?
So my understanding is that we had that public hearing at the full council level. I'm not sure why it's here. I'd like to make a motion to withdraw if the discussion is finished on this.
If we have it in the full council,
We already,
definitely yes.
by charter at 9.1, once enough signatures are provided, there was a requirement that we go ahead and have the public hearing, which we did. Place was packed. We had a public hearing that evening. It's here. We already had the public hearing. I'd like to withdraw that.
If it is on the full council, by all means, we can withdraw it. No problem whatsoever. I don't know why we see it. So that's a motion?
So I'd like to make a motion to withdraw this document.
Is a second?
Yeah, there is a second.
So there's a motion to withdraw. Is there any need for discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of withdrawing item 5917?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's say aye. Okay. All those opposed? Item is withdrawn.
All right, I would like to take item 43116, it's a year-end safety police report, out of the table matters.
So is taking item 43116, year-end safety report. Anyone second this?
Second.
Is there any for discussion? Councilor Rodriguez?
Just let's take it off the table matter and then we discuss it.
Okay. So all those in favor of removing item 431 from table matters, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so item is removed.
So I will, through you, Council, I would like to do the same thing, request the police department, the chief of the police department to give us an update on this a year-end safety police report. It's required by charter, and we haven't heard about this yet. I would like to make that as a form of a motion to send correspondence to the police department.
Okay. Is this second?
Second, discussion. When did you expect to have it back in writing through you, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, or do you expect to have him showing up? What's the expectation?
Usually, they should have this year-end safety police report on every year. And they probably have it on paper. If they can provide it to us, that would be great. If it's not, then I guess that they're gonna have to generate the report because this is according to the charter that we're supposed to have this.
Councilor Rodriguez and Councilor Plant, was this last year, or did they do a presentation
Yes, they did a presentation.
at the end of the year?
Like in February, around the.
Oh, so at the beginning of the year, they did a presentation, and that was the presentation for 2016?
For the 2016 year.
Okay.
We're expecting this report to be a 2017
Okay.
year-end safety police report.
I have a question.
Yes.
I want to read something about that. Do you have any report from?
So through you, Council President. So basically what happened on this item is that they're gonna provide us with a report of the, it's like a year end, at the end of the year, the safety police report of what happened throughout the year. And it's an official report that they have to provide every year to the perhaps the council and the city. And once they provide that report to us, they're gonna present it, and we're gonna be talking about data and what happened, basically.
Okay.
So once we got that information, we're gonna be discussing it here.
And are you going to remove this?
Yes. So Councilor Plants, your original question was, do we expect this to be a written report or a visual presentation? In years past, how was it done?
I wasn't on this committee in years past, so this is something that's relatively new that was for this committee, so I can't speak to that. But I think we just need to make it clear on all these items that it seems like the Vice President's looking to do. He's looking to get an update on each one of these items. If we're going to go down this road, we got to figure out, are we asking for the police chief to show up here and then talk to us about it? Or are we just looking for just him to send information? So, I mean, I like to see, we're going to have a very full next agenda if we're asking him to come and speak. The Trust Act by itself could take a whole meeting, right? I mean, this whole thing could take a while.
Well, through the council,
Yes, Councilor Rodriguez?
last year, the Trust Act took probably 25 minutes, because basically what they did is they talked to us about what's the Trust Act, what the police department did in terms of the Trust Act, what happened throughout the year in terms of this ordinance, and what was a report of, the Trust Act is required on the ordinance to give us a report every 3 months. And we haven't get that for probably like a year. So that maybe take 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it's just a matter of having the police department coming out here and tell us what happened. And the other report, the year-end safety police report, probably a runway report, and not a presentation, but I mean a discussion of what happened, and that's it basically.
Mr. Chairman, the Council President's up front, through you, could we listen to what he might have to offer the committee?
Council President?
Chairman Payano, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Just to provide some historical background on the Public Safety Committee, it is a committee that had not met in approximately 11 years or so before I became Council President 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we started meeting quarterly for the first time, and that's when we found out that there has to be a report submitted to the City Council in terms of public safety concerns in the city. And I believe that's what Councilor Rodriguez is asking for tonight. The report, however, I will suggest that the council works on identifying specific language, because what the report states today is that it is for traffic review only, that we should be receiving information. It doesn't encompass all of the public safety concerns in the city, and I feel that it should. So if that's something that the Public Safety Committee wishes to work on, to identify, maybe broaden the scope of information that should be provided, I think that that will be beneficial, not only to the committee, but for the citizens as well. There's another report that is submitted by the fire department under our code of ordinance, but that is not submitted to the city council. That is only submitted to department heads. And I think that we could also review and change the ordinance to include the city council to be part of that discussion. I could provide the language for both. The one from the public safety, from the public police department, I apologize, as well as the fire department, because I think that's information that will be valuable for a healthy conversation at this committee level. So
Yes.
I don't know if you have any questions. And also the Trust Act component, there is a portion that states that the city council should get a report, a quarterly report for the incidents that do occur.
Mr. President, when was the last time that they did the quarterly report?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
When was the last time that they did the quarterly report?
Maybe a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just for the record, every department is supposed to be giving us an annual report. Traditionally, we have never, ever really pushed on it. This is the only one that I think that sounds like we're going to be pushing to kind of get an annual report. There's been real great appetite because of for whatever reasons, I don't want to provide excuses for why other departments have not submitted. It fits and starts. Sometimes you get some, sometimes you don't. City Attorney is probably the closest department that there is to giving us an annual report, and even the City Attorney's Office has not done in the last year or so. So we are asking one department to do it. We're not asking any other departments to do it. It is to get something worthwhile, a lot of work to do. And the question is we're asking for, we're going to go down this road here, we're going to be asking for a lot of stuff. And I think we got to take into consideration practically and pragmatically what we're asking departments to be doing. Do we want them to be doing policing work? Or do we want them to do all of these kinds of reports? There has to be some sort of balance. So we want policing work and we want reports, but we can't be asking them for 17 reports by our next meeting. That's not going to be a practical request. So I think if we space things out a little bit, and we work through these things, I think we would, as a committee, will get a better product, and then we're not sacrificing what their core mission is.
Councilor Plant, I would agree to that, though I would say that I don't see the report dealing with the Trust Act as taking as long as the year-end safety police report. Though I do believe that if there's a lot of substance in the year-end safety police report, that would probably take a bulk of our time. So I would agree that we should, make sure that we think through how we are composing the next agenda and what we're asking of these folks. But I think so far for these two, I think that we are doing okay as far as our capacity and theirs. Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes. And by the way, I just wanted to bring that for the record. If we're going to be working towards the public safety, and we have to know where we're the base and the foundation of how the city is right now. Might be able to put many things on paper, but if we don't have the foundation of where we start, we don't know where we're going. So that's why the year-end safety police report will help us identify those issues. And it probably doesn't have to be in so much detail, perhaps, because we're not an expert on this, but somehow we have to have some type of base, some foundation in terms of working with the police departments towards helping out and getting the community involved in those type of issues that we probably find on those reports.
Councilor Cruz.
I think it will be really a teaching moment where we understand the procedures and what they are doing, that we can make suggestions. As for example, I did mention the neighborhood association where up to now and I say we because I'm president of one of them, we don't have that close participation, even though that we have the police department attending to most of those neighborhood meetings. Then for me, it will be a great opportunity to get to know more about what they do, what's going on, and what can be done.
Is there any other need for discussion?
Yeah, I put the motion that we get, that was the year safety police report.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. Was already second, so all those in favor of removing it at a table
No, we've already removed
Okay,
it, so
uh,
it's to send
to
correspondence
send-
to
to
police
the
department to get a
chief?
report.
Okay, so all those in favor of sending that correspondence, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it.
Motion to adjourn?
There's a
So
motion to
moved.
adjourn.
Oh, do you have a scheduled date for our next meeting? May I recommend the last Wednesday of the next month for the next meeting?
The last one, sir?
February 28th?
Do we have a minute to approve?
I didn't
I'm
see
available on
any,
the 28th, Mr. Chairman.
there are no minutes.
So,
Council De La Cruz, what's your availability? So February 20th was proposed.
February
Can you
20th?
repeat that question, please?
February 20th?
You know what? I'm not available February 20th.
The 20th? That's a Tuesday.
February 28th is a Wednesday.
Oh, 28th.
How about the
6th?
February 6th, you saying?
I mean the 5th, 2 weeks from today?
I think we should probably give the police department
And then the 19th?
the 19th,
That's 4 weeks from today?
no? 21st?
That week I'm out.
Okay.
That will be a budget and finance, most likely on Wednesday. Gotta stick it on Monday.
Can we continue this meeting on Mondays?
Yeah, we have to keep it on
Yes.
Monday.
Okay.
So either the 12th is, we're not gonna be able to present anything to the full council. Oh, yeah, we will, yeah.
So let's look, because
We can do the 13th, the 12th.
does this,
Do the 12th?
the 12th work for me? Does it work?
Yeah, 12%.
Councilor LaPlante, does it work for you?
12th works for me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
May I also recommend on one of the items that we're looking at, I'd like to get this thing started and we can have a systematic roll on it. I'd like to make a recommendation that we invite the police chief to give a presentation on residential breaks, trends, and preventive measures for the next meeting.
So do we have to have that as an item on the agenda?
You know something I'm going to do? I am going to put that on, I'm going to put that on at the, on the next agenda, which will
But we
be,
can definitely send an email if you're gonna put it on.
I just want to give them a heads up. I'm going to put it on the agenda, and our next meeting as a full council is on February the 6th. And so it'll be sent down to this committee would be my request. It'll be here for the 12th. And if we can give the police chief a heads up that that's going to be the request, let's give him the heads up. And I'm going to make a very generic item for the council agenda. It's going to be sent over here, so there's breath in, so we don't have to be, it's just motor vehicles, noise, whatever, B&Es.
All right, sounds good. So Monday the 12th, do we have to vote on that for our next meeting? No?
No.
Okay.
Call it.
So, all right, so Monday the 12th, same time, 7 PM,
Yes.
right? So there was a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
I mean, I put the
You
motion.
put the motion.
Second.
And you second.
Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. Thank you. It's a little nerve-wracking. Thanks for the support.
No problem.